Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. I'm continuing my walk with How the West Was Won, Led Zeppelin's live album, and this is what I'm calling part two of. It's probably a four-part series, man. Part one featured Immigrant Song, Heartbreaker, and Black Dog, and what we're doing here in part two is Over the Hills and Far Away, Since I've Been Loving You, and Stairway to Heaven. So that's what I'm going to do with these live concerts, man, right up until the holiday season. And then the world stops. And then it's the O2, man. That is the holy grail for me. That's what I've been looking forward to all year. So that's what I'm looking at doing. That's the method to my approach. So, man, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out and thanks very much to Jeffrey Davis. Jeffrey, thanks, man. Jeffrey has really itemized things for me, you know, making it really, really easy, and he's put the links in order and everything like that. So, Jeffrey, thanks for that extra bit of work for me, brother. I appreciate it. Makes things so easy. And because sometimes, you know, I get sent links and it's just a big slab and it just says 2 hours of what, there's no breaks in it, and I don't, you know, so I can't fashion reactions, and I certainly can't sit there for 2 to 3 hours through an entire reaction. So Jeffrey, thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. The other thing too is that you're going to notice that I'm a little under the weather. I took the whole weekend off to heal myself, drink lots and lots of lemon and ginger tea, so I'm just getting over a congested cold, and so still not out of the woods yet, but at least I can speak and you know, not have to grovel all the time. So excuse my deeper sounding voice. And yes, I have been tested, man. It's just a plain old regular cold. All right, so let's hit this up, man. Starting with Over the Hills and Far Away. Let's get it. This guy could do it all, couldn't he? There aren't many that can match him this way.
Oh, darling, you got the love I need, baby, more than enough. Oh, darling, 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 walk a while with me. Oh, you've got so much, oh, so much.
Thunder. Right up your ass.
Come true, and some
Listen to that bass groove. Jones plays like Bootsy Collins, doesn't he? He's got that funky thing going on. Nice. The whisper, the thunder, and back to the whisper. These guys are the shit, man. I remember this was the song that had the long ending, and I kept talking. Did I ever get ripped for that? Oh. Very first. This is what I call my awakening song. First reaction.
From 7 to 11 every night. Let me tell you, it really makes life a drag. I don't think that's right. I'm feeling the best of fools. Oh, have mercy, I did what I could, yeah. I love you, mama. How I love you, baby. Oh, I love you. Oh, little girl. Baby, since I've been loving you, I'm about to lose my worried mind. To remember every night, it really makes it a drag. I don't think that's right. Baby, 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 baby. I'm about to lose my worried mind. Only for 5 minutes.
Instead of that sweet organ in the background.
Oh, my tears, they fell like rain. Won't somebody hear the calling? Tell me you didn't want me no more. Out from my front door, I hear my back door slam. I think I got one. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I've been working myself. Ooh, to 11 every night. Don't wanna lose it. Oh no, 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 no. Oh yeah. Don't make me lose. I'm worried mind. Thank you. This is called Stairway to Heaven.
That was an intense rendition of Since I've Been Loving You.
There's a lady whose shoe, all it glitters is gold, and she's buying the stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with the word she can get what she came for. She's buying the stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In the tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven, you know. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for leaving. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking. That's you. And it's whispered that soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to reason, and a new day will dawn for those who stand long, and the forest will echo with laughter. Remember laughter? And it makes me wonder, wait a minute, if there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a sprinkling for the May Queen. Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on.
comes one of the best guitar solos. I love this one.
Stairway to heaven.
Wow.
Good evening.
You talk about only needing one song to be remembered by. If Led Zeppelin did nothing aside from Stairway to Heaven, they would still be considered rock gods. You know what I'm saying? Just that one song alone. But thankfully, they gave us so much more than that. Man, you know, listening to the thunder and the whisper and the thunder of, especially Since I've Been Loving You, and all of the blues in there and all of that stuff that just came with it was still to this day, my cup runneth over. You know that saying? Yo, that was the song that just hit me hard where it comes to Led Zeppelin. Since I've Been Loving You started it all for me. Yes, I've heard of Led Zeppelin and I'd heard their hits, including Stairway to Heaven, Black Dog, Rock and Roll, Immigrant Song. And yes, I held them in high regard. And coming into my channel, I knew that I was going to be hitting Led Zeppelin, and I was assuming that I was going to handle Led Zeppelin with just a couple of quads and I'd be done. Man. And then my friends had me listen to Since I've Been Loving You. And oh man, I tell you, you talk about something to really shake your foundations and reset all of your preconceived ideas, and make you look even deeper, look below the surface. And that was the song that did it for me. It's hallowed ground for me. That is the song. That is my Led Zeppelin song. What's your favorite Led Zeppelin song? And especially listening to this triple performance, who is your favorite Led Zeppelin musician? Which one of them? Every time I ask this question, a couple of things happen. I get blasted by a lot of people. How dare you? How could you even think to ask such a question? I get those. And then, it's like there are different personalities doing different things, different so and so and so. And then after I get blasted, and then after I get the business, then usually I'll get the truth. Somebody will then say, well, it's got to be Page because of so and so and so. It's got to be Jones because of so and so plant. And so I usually kind of get from you who your favorite, and it's different every single time. So it's an exercise that I've actually come to really enjoy. Getting blasted for a little while at first, it's just a process. You got to go through that in order to get to the end. So I've come to understand that at this point. But yeah, man, after this triple, who is your favorite Led Zeppelin musician and why? Tell me that. It's always really interesting reading the hows and the whys where it comes to these questions. Man, I got a story to tell you guys, man. Got a story to tell you guys. Doing the Led Zeppelin reactions from the studio stuff, and then going into the live stuff. And then, of course, my plan is to go on beyond that and go into their individual stuff. I know Plant did Sea of Love. He was part of another band, Sea of Love. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. And then, of course, Page did other things too, with the Black Crowes and Paul Rogers. And so there's a lot of stuff to actually follow up with. But get this shit, yo. Get this shit. I share pretty much everything with you guys because it's my journey, it's my walk, and I'll share the good, the bad, and the ugly with you. I'll forever be talking about that experience with my buddy's mom when she challenged me in public about, how dare you listen to Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and that sort of thing. You're not a real Christian, man, and shit like that. I'll forever be talking about that. That was a cornerstone part of my growing. So here's another one. A YouTube reactor got a hold of me last year talking about, who the hell do you think you are? What the hell? Well, why do you react that way? Why is your format like this? You're doing things so much differently. Who the hell do you think you are? You think you're different? You think you're special? What the hell? And here's a guy who is very, very close to 100,000 subscribers in his own right. Been around longer than me. And I don't know what the guy's problem is. Don't know why I rub him so hard. But it's the third message. And because when I started getting into the live Led Zeppelin stuff, I said that this is another dimension of Led Zeppelin, and I'm going even deeper into the rabbit hole. Excuse my throat, I'm still under the weather. And, I'm just being civil and trying to explain what I do, why I do it, and what the motivation is. I see Led Zeppelin as a science. I like to dissect everything. That's just how I do things. And in my walk of getting to learn rock and roll, Led Zeppelin is a very, very key part of the history of rock and roll. I mean, these guys were just as influential in the 70s as the Beatles were in the 60s. I mean, think of that, right? And so one would assume, well, why is that? Let's endeavor to learn about it. Let's endeavor to find out why and find out how. And of course, along the way, I'm taking in as much as I can about the whole body of rock and roll, dissecting why rock and roll is so gripping and why it's the undercurrent and the pedigree to so many people. It represents a serious generation of our populace, right? So you don't want to ignorantly walk through life and not find out why it's so important to so many people. So many of my friends, I mean, these reaction channels, the passion that people have about reactions, and with what I do, seeing their songs of choice being covered, and hopefully that I'm doing it justice, being covered well, is very, very important. So this music really represents a generation of people. And when I'm trying to do reactions, I'm representing you. So I take this shit real serious, right? I don't fuck around. So this is what I said to this guy. And I don't know what, that was the trigger of some, and I got, oh man, did I ever get it? And so I guess my point is this. A lot of you watch me. A lot of you watch other reaction channels. I want you to pass on some advice. And I know what's about to happen, boy. Pass on some advice from me to other reactors. I'm not telling them how to do reactions because we all have our different approach. I'm serious as shit where it comes to me doing reactions. Another person doesn't have to be that serious. You know what I'm saying? They don't don't have to do what I do. But my point is this. Where Led Zeppelin is concerned, because I know a lot of them have discovered the magic of Led Zeppelin and the appeal, and you know, they notice how their channel traffic blows up. I mean, you know, I've got 20,000 subscribers on my classic rock channel. Half of that goes because of Led Zeppelin for sure. So a lot of other reactors have realized the appeal of Led Zeppelin, especially where it comes to their channel and their numbers and, you know, that sort of thing. Pass this on to them. My advice is to take a really deep dive into Led Zeppelin like I'm doing. You know, what I'm talking about is when you go through their studio stuff, hit up their live stuff, make a combination. Okay, you don't have to do every single damn album, every single damn song like I've done. You don't have to approach it like a science like I'm doing. But to really appreciate these guys, you have to see all sides. The live stuff is like the flip side of the coin. You can't just look at one side, you gotta look at both sides. So my advice to reactors, and this dude that's really giving me the business, is to investigate a little further. You will form an appreciation for them, not just because they are great for your numbers and your channel, but they are such a big important part of the music of a generation. And all of these great artists from the Renaissance period means a lot. They mean a lot to me now, as much as it does to you who grew up with it. So what I'm doing here is I'm getting caught up. You know, I feel like I'm behind and that I missed out. Even my dad says this. My dad, because the crowd that he hung out with, they were more on the Dylan side. And, you know, they caught, you know, some Johnny Winter and some blues and all that. But my dad was more exposed to that side of things, the folksy stuff. And he never caught the wind of Led Zeppelin. He never, and so he feels that he missed out a little bit where that's concerned. My dad said this shit. So I feel the same way. And I'm catching up. I'm catching up overall with the whole body of classic rock. And so this, hey man, this is just how I do things. I'm not anybody special or trying to put anyone else down by the way they do reactions or whatever. So I don't get this dude. Anyway, my advice is, if you are a subscriber to other channels and you like the reactor, and the reactor has caught on to Led Zeppelin, as most have, lead them towards the live stuff, because it's a big dimension of the rabbit hole that it's an absolute must. So, you got your studio stuff, and then you got the magic element of the live stuff. This live stuff has a essence of its own, doesn't it? I mean, you're doing yourself a disservice as a Led Zeppelin fan if you are not also taking in their live stuff, the stuff that's a little bit on the raw side, listening to their differences and the different way they approach, doing their live stuff. I mean, Robert Plant is just pulling all of these elemental blues passages just out of his mind, off the top of his head as he's going. It's like a copy and paste affair. You got to experience this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, my advice to you guys, if you are fans of other reaction channels who cover Led Zeppelin, tell your reactor to check out the live stuff, because it's got a persona all on its own. And I've really come to appreciate them even more. Especially hit up Kel and Rich. Kel and Rich, man, I love those guys, man. They are the shit. And if you ask them for something, they'll do it. So, hit up Kel and Rich. Shout out to you, Kel and Rich. I love you guys. I gotta come and see you sometime. After all of this shit's over, I gotta come and see you. Or you gotta come up and see me. Anyway, that is my advice to you as a Led Zeppelin fan who subscribes to my channel and to other channels. And, in regards to some people, especially this dude having a problem with me, hey, yo, I don't know what to say. It's just the way I roll. I mean, one day I was just sitting here thinking to myself, yo, man, I want to start a reaction channel, and I'm going to do it like this. I don't want to sound all ignorant and stupid, so I'm going to open up Wikipedia, and I'm going to base my channel on the structure of Wikipedia. I'm going to read a little bit, and I'm going to talk a little bit, and I'll listen to it, and I'll give you my spin. And I think that's just the way it is. I had that thought within a minute, and that's what I did. So I got it together, and my first reaction was Fortunate Son, CCR. I'm an ex-military guy, and the anti-war songs, it came naturally to me. So this is just what I do, right? So I don't know what to say in regards to this dude having a problem with me, but it is what it is, man. What can I say? But anyway, long story short, between you and me, where Led Zeppelin is concerned, man, these guys are fantastic. And I am uncovering reason after reason as I keep going deeper why they are. They're the real deal. And anyone who calls themselves a Led Zeppelin fan should really embrace the live stuff. That's all I got to say about that. Sorry, not much of a Led Zeppelin review. Had to get this shit off my chest. It was starting to bug me a little bit. And I'm thinking, yo, man. So I needed to clear the air on that. So, like I said, I share everything with you guys, the good, the bad, and the ugly, man. So this is a part of the ugly. But I'm enjoying this process, man. I'm really enjoying their live stuff. It's an acquired taste. It takes a while because, you're aside from the studio, it has a little bit more of that raw grit element. Some people might not like it. I know Led Zeppelin fans are somewhat divided in regards to, well, yeah, of course I prefer their studio stuff, and I only like some of their live stuff. I don't like their live sound at all, you know what I mean? So there's a division between Led Zeppelin fans, but so far, man, I'm really enjoying it, and I really like it, and I can appreciate the progression from the BBC to How the West Was Won. I see their growth progression. I can hear it. And they're having more fun. There's more energy going on. Yo, especially in Since I've Been Loving You. Oh, that is the most intense rendition I've heard so far. So, yo, man, these are the things that I'm really enjoying as I take my Led Zeppelin walk. Still enjoying it, man, after 2.5 years. Anyway, guys, listen, I'm gonna bounce. I feel my throat starting to dry up, and I gotta get to work. So, apologies, man. I've been so busy right now, and not doing as many reactions as I was hoping to. But I'll get back on that, especially when I got some time off coming up. So my next installment will more than likely include Going to California, That's the Way, and Braun Your Stomp. And then Dazed and Confused, it's going to be a reaction all on its own because it's like half an hour. So that's what I'm looking at doing. And I'll probably hit it up in a couple of days. Sometimes it takes a whole week to get to it. Sometimes a couple of days. But whenever I have an open space and time, I just throw it out there, man. So that's the only way that I'll actually get a decent portion of live reactions in before we hit up the O2. It's not to say that I won't do any more live reactions after the O2. But that is my destination, man, the O2. So that's where I'm at, where my Led Zeppelin walk is concerned. Thanks for listening to me rant. Thanks for listening to me get shit off my chest. And look for my next installment, probably in a day or so. I'm going to be trying to hit it up fast and furious. So I would say part 3 will probably be in about a day or two. All right? So you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you in part 3. Peace.